Welcome to the 11th episode of Let's Conquer Books. Someone anonymously said, seeing someone reading a book you love is seeing a book recommending a person. In this episode, I talk about how the 10x rulebook will help you understand that you must multiply your goals and actions by 10. Never underestimate the hard work and difficulty of achieving a 10x goal, and anyone can achieve success using the 10x rule. So let's get into it. Grant Cardone is the author of the 10x rule, and he is known as one of the top sales coaches of our time. He overcame a drug addiction and he started investing in himself to be a better salesman. And if you ever listen to him speak, I love his podcast, I love his Instagram, his Twitter, his YouTube, his podcasts. You know, you can clearly see that he lives a 10x life and he lives by the 10x rule. You know, he owns his own private jet with a 10x on it, has hundreds of millions of dollars in real estate. He holds like the biggest events. One of his called 10x Growth Con in Las Vegas. He had Lewis House, Tim Grover, Damon John, Ty Lopez, Russell Brunson. Big people in business come to his event. 9,000 people. Tickets were not cheap, and he sold the thing out because just the way he thinks big, he thinks the impossible, he doesn't limit himself, and he credits a lot of his success to living by the 10x rule. So the first takeaway I got from the 10x rule book is that to achieve success, people must multiply all their goals and actions by 10. So this is all about effort, how much effort you're going to put into your goal. And he gives a good example of someone saying like they weigh 250 pounds and their goal is to lose 5 pounds. So it's such a little goal, an easy goal, that you don't even put much effort to it. And the person eventually doesn't even achieve the 5 pounds and ends up gaining more because it's so, in your mind, it's like 5 pounds, I can do that. I'll just walk a little and eat a little better and I'll lose my 5 pounds. Now, if that same 250-pound person had a 50-pound goal, it's a whole different way of approaching that. Your effort is different. You have to really restrict the way you eat. You have to start looking into some really aggressive exercises that build muscle and lose weight. So it's a different goal. So the 5-pound goal, you might not even lose weight, gain weight. The 50-pound goal, say you don't reach 50 pounds, but you only lose 20, 25, you still lost more than 5 pounds just by approaching the goal different in a 10x way. Now, the way I did that was, you know, the average person in the United States reads 4 books a year. Now, if I 10x that and say, I want to read 40 books a year, that's a 10x goal. It's going to take a lot more effort to read 40 books than 4 books. So I read an article, and I saw Ty Lopez also talk about that CEOs read 60 books a year. And I was like, that's a 10x goal right there. So I reached for it, and I had to increase my reading time. I had to be more consistent. Every day I had to make sure that I hit my reading time. I had to be disciplined to be, you know, achieve those times of reading. Like, I'm going to read 30 minutes at night, 30 minutes in the evening, 30 minutes afternoon. Discipline to download books in my phone so I have them ready. I had to be strategic, you know, had to build my want list, had books already coming from the library here, have books ready. Once I finish a book, I'm already reading the next one. I had to be organized with my time, with every aspect of the goal had a strategy to it. So the best thing is, like, say this 60-year book, a year goal, again, when you put that much effort and action into your goal, say you don't reach the 60, but you read 35, you read 30, You're way ahead of the average person when it comes to reading books, because they only read 4 and you ended up reading 30. And that all goes to the effort you're putting into it. So takeaway 2 is to achieve a 10x goal, a person must not underestimate how difficult it will be or how much hard work is required. So he puts it like obsession. You're gonna need obsession when you're trying to really achieve a 10x goal. So obsession helps to enjoy the process of getting to a target. And he gives an example of Michael Jordan, the way he used to practice. He would stay later than everyone and be earlier than everyone. And he enjoyed that because he had a target, win lots of championships and be the best. He gives another example of the GE CEO who worked 100 hours a week for 10 years. But he had a target of bringing CEO as the best company in the world, and he was going to lead this company to be the best in the world. So he was enjoying that process because he was obsessed. Now me, I'm obsessed with reading. And that's helped me read when I'm tired. Read while my family's watching movies that look entertaining, and I would love to just sit there and watch a movie, but no, I'm obsessed. So I'm going to read a book. I read while I'm sick. I remember, this might be too much, but this is what it takes. I remember having the flu last season, and I was feeling like crap, but I was like, I gotta get my reading time in. So I would just grab a book and read and felt like crap. But that's just a sign of obsession, and you're gonna reach your goal if you're able to do stuff like that. And I'm always reading on open moments. Like I always say, times of waiting in lines, time sitting waiting for someone, or any open time, I'm reading. Listening to podcasts is part of my obsession that interview authors and talk about books. And building a reading list, that's another part of my obsession. I'm always constantly looking for books and adding to that list. That makes me feel like, oh my goodness, there's so much books and I'm not reading fast enough. There's no way I'm going to get through this list. The third takeaway is anyone can achieve success using the 10x rule, regardless of education level, economic status, or personality. Now he puts it like taking full responsibility for your actions and multiplying your efforts by 10. No personal circumstance can hold you back. And I believe in that. That I specifically chose that one because it's a personal one. I'm a high school dropout. I had 32 Fs in high school. I passed grammar school because the teachers didn't want to deal with me the next year. I went to summer schools. I thought school was not for me, and I'll never need it. I never understood why people read books. No one around me was reading books. No one told me about good books to read. But I came to a place that I took personal responsibility. And I said, you know what? Even though I'm not a CEO, even though I didn't go to college, even though I don't read more books than the average person, I'm going to start reading books. And that process, that obsession, that growth mindset, that grit. Again, this is why I'm telling you that these books changed my life. So I 10x'd my goals. And look, last year I read 105 books in 2017. I still think that I'm the only person that can't believe I did that. Because I'm always posting it. It's a lot of titles I use. And I don't get enough reaction. And it's probably because I'm the one who went through that process and I knew what it took. And I'm like, oh my God, it took me so much effort, so much time to get to this place to read that much books. Now, when it goes to the reading challenge for 2018, I'm at 23 books. So the pace is good. Looks like I'm going to go over 60. I think the new goal is, after this episode, the goal is 100. There you go. I 10x'd it. From here on, every year, 100 books. Crazy goal, but if I fall short, it'd probably be more than 60. Now, this is still a 5-part series, and there's going to be 2 more parts, and I'm not going to finish there. It's not hard-pressed, confirmed 5-part series. It's always open for more if I get any ideas, anybody recommends something. So there you have it. See you on the next one. Please subscribe to this podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, or the many other platforms that have podcasts, so you don't miss the 4th episode of the life-changing books that helped me read 105 books in 2017.